Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Cara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also publisher of Reading the Pictures.
Summer 2022 delivered so many striking scenes of climate disaster. This one is memorable for its emotional quality and the effect of a shared experience.
This photo was taken by Lorena Sopena for Reuters. Set in the record-breaking heat and fire that consumed Europe this past summer, we see two women watching aircraft drop water onto a wildfire near Pego, Spain on August 16, 2022.
We often see images of firefighters engaging with these blazes, fighting these fires, or often we will see photos of residents walking around their burned out homes, dealing with the wreckage and the question of whether or not they'll be able to rebuild their lives. And this photo gives us something a bit different because we are being given an opportunity to think about the people who live in the area as they're watching those firefighters at work.
You raise the issue of witnessing. This photograph brings so much more nuance to it. It allows us to personally identify with witnesses, and it also draws a contrast with so many long-range photos that are more impersonal photos of individuals or crowds. What we're seeing here is the almost touching proximity of these two women, the tilt of a head, the one woman leaning toward the other one. With those details, you really sense an investment, a consideration, the attention to different actions, and most importantly, the sense of sharing and empathy.
Given that sharing, it's really notable that the photographer puts us, the viewer, right there on the sidewalk with those women. We're positioned to see between them to the action in the distance, but we're also with them. And so I think that that's a really important element of this photograph, that this isn't a photograph of the women. It's not even really a photograph of the fire. As you said, it's a photograph of that aspect of witnessing. And I think it's worth pointing out that because the long range focus in the photo is the plane dropping the water, the women in the foreground are blurry. And that to me signifies the uncertainty of the situation from their perspective. And so also from our perspective as the viewer standing with those women, it's fuzzy. What's going to happen? Is the fire going to come close to them? Are they going to be able to put the fire out? How is everybody over there doing? All of these questions are animated both by the positionality of us as the viewer and also just by the nature of that focus, which is putting the foreground in this kind of fuzz of uncertainty.
It's like the more we talk about this photograph, the more we find in it. This is just distinct for the range and complexity of actions and interactions. There's the pair of firefighting aircraft, which parallels the pair of women. There's that spot of actual fire, far left, and also the color contrast between the women's outfits. It's really great.
And it's also a photo that invites a sensory reading on top of all of that, I think. The smoke, the fire, you can imagine the heat and the smell perhaps of the smoke. And those aircraft are not silent, surely. I'm sure they make a lot of noise as they fly over and do their job. And so you've got the kind of sonic elements as well. So that as a whole package, this picture just has so much going on that's giving you a different experience than we often get in images of these kinds of wildfires.